Indiana played UCLA, 70-59, 73 wouldn't coach. So there you have it. So PJ was lost. I knew I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it was the Final Four. It was Knight's second year. So there you go. Listen, I got no problem putting Knight. You want to put Knight 3? Go right ahead. I know people can't stand him, but you cannot, under any circumstances, you cannot sit there and take anything away from his greatness as a coach. That's not fair. I don't mind you saying he's this, he's a bully, he's that. I get it. Fine, no problem. As far as a basketball coach is concerned, he is one of the all-time greats. That's all there is to it. Not even a dispute. John in Naples, Florida. Johnny, good afternoon. How are you today? What do you have?
Good, Doggy. How you doing? Hey, I'm a refugee.
Hey, refugee. Good to hear that.
I would listen to Mike. From 1 to 3. I'd switch over to you, but now it's all you, dog.
No, good to have you aboard, Johnny. Now, what do you have for me today? Go ahead. What's on your mind? Let me hear.
Hey, I was also, real quick, I was with you and Mike at the Hilton before the Bills-Giants Super Bowl.
Oh, were you really? 1990. Wow, how about that? Good for you. 30 years ago.
Mets baseball, dog. I think if they could trade for McCutchen, maybe sign Moustakas or Frazier, that division is winnable, dog. The Phillies, the Braves, the Marlins stink, and the Nationals are dysfunctional. What do you think?
First off, the Mets are not going to do both those things. They don't have anything to give the Pirates for McCutchen, so that's not going to happen. Moustakas, I could see maybe that. He comes cheap. The Mets don't have any money. They don't spend it. They're going to probably make a little splurge now because they're getting pounded locally. I understand your point about Washington, but they're still the team to beat. I don't see that happening with the New York team. DJ is in Long Island. A chance. DJ, take it away. What do you have for me today?
Hey, what's up, Chris? What's going on?
Hello, DJ. Nice to talk to you. What's on your mind now? Let me hear.
Just a quick point on college football and then on the NFL, but real quick, that refugee song, yes. You might want to get more copies. I think you're going to be playing it out. This show that they put together is awful. I just have to say it. I don't know what the heck they're thinking over there.
Well, have you been, to be fair, have you listened enough times, or are you talking about?
I've listened more than enough. It's absolutely. Let me ask you a question before I get into that. For years, Mike's been crushing ESPN. So why would Chernoff think that he has to go the ESPN way with three voices in the booth when Mike's been killing them for years? I have no idea what they're doing. They made a major blunder. I don't see that show lasting. But
well, again, I think they wanted a little diversity in the booth. I think they wanted to mix it up. I think they were probably in the booth behind the microphones. I don't think they thought they could find anybody who could do what Mike did, and so as a result, if they brought somebody in, they're going to be compared to Mike. This time, it's a complete change. But I've said 1,000 times, I'm going to say it again, not to be too specific, but any town in the country, if you do sports talk, any city, you have to be able to relate to the fan base in that town. You have to be able to talk Red Sox in Boston, Redskins in D.C., Chiefs in Kansas City, Dodgers in L.A., Tigers in Detroit, Trailblazers in Portland. You have to be able to relate to that fan base that knows that you are part of them. And this group will not be able to do that. That's all there is to it.
It's bad, let me tell you. But anything, on Saban, listen, he got lucky the other night. Great. That's all well and good. He's an all-time great. If you want to pick through Belichick's resume, okay, he had the tuck rule with the Raiders, or he never goes to the first Super Bowl. He's allowed to mug the Ram receivers in the first Super Bowl. He has Pete Carroll do the all-time ultimate brain lock. And then he's got the Falcons doing the choke of the century. I mean, he could easily be 2-5.
But he also could have won one with you got to remember now, he could have won that one with the Giants when, Tyreek caught the ball against his helmet. You got to say that, too.
He could have, but he could easily be 2-5. I mean, he's not. But, if you pick through, he's had plenty of times he got lucky. And real quick on the NFL ratings, you got to remember one thing. They're missing, from last year, the Cowboys, who are a ratings machine. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Remember, the Cowboy-Packer game did 50 million people, and they're missing the Giants. So, I mean, I'm sorry, Blake Bortles is not making up for that.
Good point, and I agree with that 100%. Two things I'd say about you said some interesting things there. Remember, Lombardi had a couple of lucky wins, too. He should never have beaten the Colts in 65. That was the extension game where Chandler kicked a game-tying field goal that was not a game-tying field goal because the goalposts were low, and they changed them the next year. So he would have lost that game, and he certainly could have lost the Ice Bowl. He could have lost both Cowboy games in 66, 67. Let's keep that in mind. When you're going to get lucky a couple times. And now, as far as the ratings are concerned, ESPN is going gaga over the Georgia and their NCAA ratings, and they're saying, well, look what we did this year compared to last year, which is a complete fallacy. Last year, both games were on New Year's Eve. This year, the two games were on January 1st. Now, hold on now. I mean, no wonder the ratings are better. Last year, the games Washington and Alabama was at 3 o'clock, and the Ohio State-Clemson Snorefest was on New Year's Eve. This year, the two games were on New Year's Day. I mean, come on now. It's a completely different scenario. And one thing about the other night, they did a great – everybody was raving about them the other night. You know the NCAA game? Now, you want to say it's no big deal? Do you know the NCAA – do you know New York City for the Georgia game the other night with Alabama was the 52nd metered market in that game? I don't want to make New York out to be a big deal here, but in the largest market in the country, it was ranked 52nd as far as watching that Alabama-Georgia game. 8 in front of the hour here on Mad Dog Unleashed.
Hey, everybody, this is Tom Burke.